That's the doctor.
Really don't like
This one? You like the end like that?
You finished it?
Yes, I did.
Well, I think it's pretty disrespectful.
Well, that's
Going as pyramid to start with.
Someone to do that
You get right down to it.
You know, with the camels hustle,
I'm dead, I don't care.
that insulted me. I mean, I thought that, not me personally, but I thought that the spirits, the ancestors would probably frown upon the hustle.
You never know.
Maybe they prefer that their own people are making money.
Is that how I feel?
Karima. Wonderful.
Now?
Thousand thanks.
Mwah.
Wow. Is it at hand?
Man, she loaded me up.
Oh, it's time. Vespers or
I
compline.
haven't heard the call to prayer like even once.
I heard it today around noon. We were here. We heard it.
12:07.
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I was
4 o'clock
practicing.
in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning, and then noon, and then 4 o'clock again, and then 6 o'clock. According to
The
the
one-
scene.
The one that they do in the morning is they say prayer is better than sleep. The Shia sing that.
That's
The
what
at
the
hand,
scene did.
they
Ah,
sing
the Daniel.
prayer
Oh, yeah.
is better
Yeah,
than
that's
sleep.
good, yeah.
I have a bunch of friends.
No,
that-
that's what they say.
I have a recording studio in my house, and I have a bunch of friends that come over that are Muslim to record.
Yeah.
And we have to stop sessions, and they go into my bedroom and they do salat, and then come
Wow.
back.
That's serious.
But also work is better than prayer.
Work is better than prayer?
Yeah, in Islam. Yeah. Yes.
Well, these are new American
Work
Muslims,
is
so maybe
better.
they're still figuring it out.
If something is important, you're
You don't
occupied
pray. You don't pray.
or driving a car.
You don't pray.
Eating is better than anything?
No, I said I like sleep better than all of this.
Well, I remember reading a book that
Close second.
practice falling awake as you go to sleep. Instead of collapsing, freshen up as you fall asleep. And you still fall asleep, but you wake up much more refreshed. I don't know if I can explain it, but imagine collapsing at the end of the day, or taking 5 minutes to pull it together. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Open up your mind. Don't die at the end of the day.
It's somewhere.
Phantom floating
If you'd
around.
like to do another hour and a half, I think that would be
And
great.
then we're going back to the hotel? Because
Yeah,
I-
can we go till 5? Play
You
till
like it?
5?
You
Oh,
like
so great.
And then go back to the hotel.
Fresh.
For like two more hours?
Some postage stamps.
Yes, we go, I'll get you some, to mail, to.
To mail, like about, maybe 8 postcards, airmail.
Okay, I'll tell Mohammed to get it for you.
Can you get me some too,
Yeah,
please?
sure. How many you want?
Let me think.
But
5.
you know, you'll be home before the post.
I know, but it's the fact that you took the time to write
Mail
it,
it in.
mail it,
And then it comes.
and
What is
rather
it?
than
What-
mailing it in the States, that would.
You want 10?
Yeah.
5, okay.
Are you gonna go with them?
Yeah, someone will go.
We took the time out of our busy
Five.
schedule to write.
Can I come with you?
That means.
No, you go and, no.
Oh, someone else is
Yeah.
going. Okay.
Sure.
20,
5 days.
25, 33, no, 40 altogether?
I
Shall we
have
get
a
40?
calculator.
Huh?
It
Okay.
would be good.
I'll buy extra, if we have extra
But
water,
we got
times
40, huh?
what, how many, yes.
How many piaces? I don't know.
Right.
I'll ask,
So we've gone through a lot,
Yeah.
come a long ways, had some stress.
Then you're not gonna pick up my voice over there.
Yeah. Maybe go to a different room.
Yeah, because this will take over the.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, let me wash up.
Where did that come from?
From the first floor, that room. Yeah. No, not agua before. Yeah, the yellow.
Oh, the yellow with the...
بصورك اهو.
Well, you have the ocean on all fronts.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I mean the sea, I keep calling it an ocean.
صورته طالعين في امريكا. طالعين في امريكا في التلفزيون.
Yeah, they are happy. Well, yesterday, you know, at the fair, Good, how are you? Is it cool? Are you cold? It's a little cool.
That's all right.
Do you want to maybe then do it on the side where the wind's not blowing as
No,
hard?
no, it's fine because you can take the seat.
Yes.
You can take the seat. Yeah. Stars under the sea.
Birds,
Stars.
stars under the sea. Hello.
Yeah.
There is stars under the sea.
Stars. Yeah. That's why I wrote the movements. One is called Facing the Ocean. There's a coming and then Stars Under the Sea.
Well, you know what? This is my concern. Because of the wind on this microphone,
Yeah.
this is such a sensitive microphone.
Okay,
that
you
it'll-
you don't want wind?
We should probably...
This is perfect.
No wind? Okay. And I kind of like the door, the way the door looks.
Okay.
Like if, yeah, I think this is much less wind.
Right here.
Right
If
in
you
that
put
spot?
it here, yeah.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah.
No wind. I can open that door. I can. Hold on.
Because I just want to make sure. One, I listened to, I organized all the footage. I mean, I looked through a lot of it last night, and good stuff.
Really?
In the crypt at the pyramid, when you and that man were sitting together, and he was saying, "This is all one stone, Kefra,
Yeah.
Kefra," and then you said the energy, good stuff. Okay, yeah, this is.
Oh, you gotta
We got to.
blend your room. Yeah.
Huh.
Which way? This way?
I suppose let me. Yeah, that.
Huh? You wanna put
I
it?
could go all the way.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah. There's no wind here.
قومي سمي دي صوت سقة الفيوم.
دي؟ أيوة.
صوت سقة. فيها 52. هي اللي عرفتنا.
ذكريات حلوة.
كنا عاملين حاجات مقدمة من سنة 44 بقت.
أنا عاوزة أسمع الصوت كمان.
بتلعبها.
انت لما تلعبها قول لي هي دي.
Okay, whenever you want.
Okay, here we are in Alexandria, Egypt.
Egypt.
And this is Randa El-Dabh.
And this is Dr. Halim El-Dabh in Alexandria.
In Alexandria. And we never thought I'll make it here because years ago you
We
told
were
me
talking about meeting here, visiting here, yeah.
and coming to Gleam.
Yeah,
This is-
coming to Gleam. And it was like what? Nisma, يعني.
Yeah, a breeze.
Like a breeze, it started off like a breeze.
Yeah.
And it came true.
And
The
here we
breeze
are.
came true.
And I come and see Randa. She looks wonderful.
Thank you.
And she composed a new composition.
Oh.
And what's the name of it?
Here in town again.
In town again.
For Dr. Halim, I wrote it for him, dedicated to him, and the title is for him. He's here in town again.
Thank you.
Now, where did you guys meet?
In Kent State. He was my professor of composition, and he wrote me how to write music. He taught me how to write different styles of music. And he expanded my view in writing and my thoughts. He told me one time to write a piece with only 5 notes, and I told him, 5 notes? Only 5 notes? But it worked very nicely.
And sometimes with 12
With
notes.
12 notes and 3 notes. It was an incredible experience. And
So
I
you-
was lucky.
You were in the United States for how long?
12 years altogether. I was 2 years in Kent and 10 years in California. I was married there and had a boy, son. And then I decided to come back here to my country. I feel home here. Yeah.
How do you feel, Halim?
I think I feel great to come here to Alexandria
Welcome.
and get the feeling of the town. After the last time I saw Alexandria was 9 years ago. And it was just as vital and exciting. And I see, it kind of culminates with the idea of the library bringing me back here and honoring my music is just, I think, the right place for it since
Yeah.
Alexandria has such an ancient heritage. Not only that, but it has the culmination of so many cultures of the world. Because Alexandria was the seat of intelligence, the seat of scholarship, the seat of philosophy, the seat of expansion of ideas, exploration of ideas. It was all in Alexandria. And it was a huge center of learning that really influenced the whole world. Bringing the library back is it's like shaking up everybody's mind, especially this time when education has been going down all over, and it's time to really think about it again, that books are important. Because now we feel there is a transition in the use of books,
Yes.
Is, the computers and the whole essence of having a volume in your hand, you open it, you touch it, you really read. So here, the Library of Alexandria, back again to talk to the world. And having the musicians here from Kent State, Oh, it's such an excitement, really, to see all my colleagues come to play my music here.
Here,
Yeah, it's really very exciting to see everybody excited to come and play music, you know. I mean,
The
I'm
most,
so grateful,
the
yeah.
most exciting thing is our monument, Dr. Halim, opening up the library.
Yeah,
He is
come-
like the library.
I'm the library.
He's back again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
Do you feel get some of the footage that they have,
yeah.
and then we can put together something from Kent State?
Yeah, and they talk about, you know, maybe Cartwright would say a word in it, and
Yeah.
something like that.
Maybe we can get a letter from the Biblioteca saying what they want, so that when we go back, we can encourage our university to help support it.
Yeah,
And we could, maybe when it's time to publish it, we come back.
that's
Or
right.
have
yeah.
them come to Kent State too.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, well, Sharif has received a Fulbright award, and he's invited to come to visit Washington, D.C., to visit New York, and to visit L.A. So he'll be visiting there, yeah.
Does he know when he's going to be doing that?
I think maybe sometime next year.
Next
Or
year?
So, yeah. not
Me time
tonight.
out perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that's exciting is that the exchange I'm noticing go on between the Americans and the people that are from Egypt, and how we interact. And when we were in Cairo the other night, this man, very nice man, met us on the street. Me and
Come here and talk.
oh, maybe I should. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. But let me stand. I want Halim in here, because then I have, and then you too.
Okay.
Okay, so the other night when we were in Cairo, we were met by a man who treated us with such kindness. And there was an exchange, you know, we were able to help him, we took him out, but he was the safest and the most kind man that I've met. And we had a lot of fun, and he took us into pubs, and he took us into, I got my hair cut at his uncle's salon.
Total stranger.
Total stranger.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm going to go back to the United States with a different perspective. And I think that this kind of thing is so valuable, especially when there's so much alienation between nations, especially Middle Eastern.
Yeah, it's a whole, I mean, it's a complete false perception, you know, that's happening in the mind of people, and people automatically are very strange. I don't know what they get their ideas from when they talk about places like Egypt, Alexandria, Cairo, the word Middle East, you know, they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. It's a big division that, unfortunately, a lot of fear can exist.
It's in the mind. I mean, it's all created by, I don't know what, illusions or and non-realities and perception, confused perception. Maybe, I don't know where it comes from. Is it the media? Is it education? You know?
Yeah. Like the Tante Malak was saying, is it Qatar? Is it
Safer.
Is it safe to come here? And I told her, well, if it's not safe, you can all come to here and stay. If it's not safe, I know it's
sure,
safe,
yes.
because
I haven't felt afraid. At no point. And even, you know, the pictures that we get on TV of police and the military having guns on the streets and going around, to be honest with you, I prefer that not to be, but what I've noticed is that the people are still friendly.
Oh, very friendly.
The police are
Very friendly.
friendly.
Of course,
Yes, they're friendly. And I've heard that there's not a lot of crime.
No, not a lot.
And that's a misconception.
And one of the biggest cities in the world.
One of the biggest cities in the world. Oldest.
No, I mean now I can walk in the street any time in the night, and I can sit here.
Well, everybody
anytime.
knows you in the neighborhood. We
Yeah.
stopped when it
We're
said,
gonna move out of here. You guys keep to
yeah,
this.
I mean, we walked to the bus driver. We stopped us over there,
Yeah.
and he said, "This is Ismail."
Ismail al-Habrouk, yeah.
And then we didn't know exactly where. We
Yeah.
asked some people in
Yeah.
the shop.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, you want Rhonda? She's
Rhonda.
right."
She's right.
Remember? I don't know. You didn't come with us. everybody knows Randa in the neighborhood, and everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows.
So you are
everybody,
safe.
yeah.
You can walk
Yeah,
around
yeah.
very safe.
You know, my son, when we came here, and then I told him, Yasin, how do you feel here in Iskandria, Alexandria? He said, Mama, I feel safe. I don't mind how the streets look. Maybe they're not as clean as the States, but I feel better because it's safer. I told him, you don't mind that dirt here? He said, no, I don't mind. And I was surprised that a little boy would not mind having Disneyland and Universal Studios, living in California and wanting to live in a place not as fancy as in California, and feeling safe is perfectly fine with him.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
The feeling safe, he feels safe. He prefers the inner feeling of feeling safe than the external feeling of materials.
yeah.
the
Material
comfort.
cleanliness, or so-called, shiny
Yeah.
on the outside. Yeah.
I was very surprised that he really wanted to stay here because he had the choice that we could go back. Especially his father is over there.
His father, your husband,
His
is
fa-
in,
yeah.
where does he live?
He's in California. He's working there, and he said, "No, don't worry. I want to stay here."
Yeah, it's very comfortable. I mean, there is a softness in the surrounding here, definitely.
Yeah.
There's no harshness. There is circular feeling. So like you can move and walk about. There's a flow, and I think that's the difference, because you find in the societies sometimes we live in, instead there's a kind of there's no immediate, like the experience you have. How can you have such an experience? I would say before, I don't know if you could have such an experience.
Yeah.
Immediate friendship with a stranger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the people that I've met, the last person that I met that was like that was a friend that I met who was from Lesotho, which is in the middle of South Africa.
Yeah.
And he was an African man that I met, and he came, and I've always felt more comfortable with international people, and I think that
There's something about it inside. You can't explain it, huh?
yes, yeah, I feel good about being here. I feel better about being a person. And
Being a person.
Yeah, and being able to go back and just be more relaxed.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
relaxing. It's true.
And you notice, I don't know if you notice, the women with the veil, so-called, not the veil, but the
Yeah,
cover,
yeah.
the hijab, are with all what we look about, restriction and separation. In reality, didn't you realize how kind they are?
Yes.
And how warm and how smiling
Yes.
all the time?
Yes.
So there's not that portrayal we have in Europe, in the United States. There is a portrayal of, well, those guys are like separated and they don't really communicate. But you come here and they're smiling at you. They work with you. They're kind. They're worried about you if you're in, if you need something. Did you?
I've experienced that. I have.
Yeah.
I've experienced, well, in at Kent State, I'm going to stay here. Just at Kent State, I've noticed that we have more and more students coming from Middle Eastern countries, and their parents might be professors, or they may come over here to work, over to the United States. And at first, I think the media's effect on me was there. I felt a little, I didn't know who they were. I didn't know if they'd be nice to me. But then as I started to get more in contact with people, I noticed that it was a complete illusion. And that they were very, very open, far more open.
May I add something?
Yes, yes.
You guys also are very warm. I mean, they're very polite and very warm and very,
The group here is
very
one.
humble and very kind and very thoughtful. Yes, the group here. And,
Our group is very
yeah, they're very thoughtful. They are.
Yeah,
Everybody
and we
is
have
thoughtful and kind.
How many women in our group? You have
1, 2, 3 women.
including
Julie, 4.
Julie.
There's 4.
Yeah, so we have a group, what, 4 and 6 men,
Yes.
or 7 men, yeah, something like that. So I mean, we represent also kind of integrated kind of group traveling together. Don't you feel that?
Yeah, well, there's students and
With students
faculty.
and faculty and members of highly known orchestras and faculty of Kent State. I think that speaks for itself how well it is too.
Mhm. It's a good point to bring up that
Yeah.
we're humans too in America.
Yeah, we're all human.
You are human too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, in the environment, within a given environment, you tend to behave in certain ways. You know, that's the whole thing.
So maybe when we get out of our environments and we make contact with each other, we can be more human.
No, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's usually politics are very different from real people. Politics is politics. There's few people that do that, but the rest is like you and me.
Yep.
So maybe we are the answer. We work from here, huh?
We work from here.
Yeah, we have a group from Kent State University, from Boise, Idaho, from Arkansas, and then I have people, from Vietnam. We have Tien,
Yeah. Yes.
Egypt, Vietnam, America. Amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
I think it's beautiful what's happening. And I
Yeah.
think that with the Bibliotheca, civilization was built off of culture and learning,
That's right.
not off of fear
No.
and division. And I think that the thread of a culture needs to be woven more
Yeah.
so that we can learn.
Exactly. You have to promote the arts. But people are confused, what is art? And they're being very pragmatic and practical, lose on the idea of the arts. They think the arts have no place because it doesn't have immediate material recognition. But don't realize that the arts are the only way to bring people together. Music, dance, painting, drawing, sculpturing, cinema, theater, everything that gather people together to make them explore relationship and thoughts and ideas. And I think that's what the library here is about, the Alexandria Library. And I think maybe they need to catch on those ideas, realize that this is the essence right there.
I think you're right. Well, in any kind of a closing, I don't know how you would want to salute or put an end on it.
Well, we're rehearsing. And I said in the beginning, she wrote a composition for me. We are going to see Alexandria. We did the tour of Cairo. Now we do a tour, see some of the ancient Ptolemaic periods, Greek periods, Roman periods, ancient Egyptian period, the whole transformation of ideas in the periods of Alexandria. And we're going to perform on the 29th with an opening with my work that I dedicated to the library with the name The Reappearance of the Lotus Flower, exploring the different ideas of facing the ocean waves, because the ocean is overtaking us as it grows, because a lot of things are buried under the ocean. Then the second is there are stars under the sea.
Under the sea.
Every day we discover them, we pick them up from under the water. And then finally the lotus flower, which is a symbol of resurrection, that the lotus flower appears again, and reappearance because the resurrection was there already, but it's becoming acknowledged, it's coming back, it's moving and opening and blossoming, the resurrection of the lotus flower. Hopefully.
The library.
Yeah, well, all of us is a
Of all of
symbol,
us.
the symbol of resurrection,
Of
of
everybody.
the coming back, because the resurrection is always there. It's a symbol of coming back, reappearance of the lotus,
Of us.
of us, yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Halim.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Dr.
Rhonda.
Halim. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rhonda. Good.
I said it should
No,
have.
he comes in.
I have 69 grams.
That's not it's a time before.
Oh, because I was just gonna say, like, you just watched.
Traditionally, that's when places
Cue, but
discount.
we're not.
We're passing it on now. Well, let's just, can we start?
Yeah. 75, Leanna, is that a good place for you at 75? Or would you rather do someplace else than 75?
Let's go back to
If I could find it, I found it, it's fine.
65?
65 again? Let's do 65.
Okay.
That's fine.
Is that 5/8 when it comes back? Is it the same as the beginning tempo?
Should be, but
It
we
should
slowed
be,
down.
but
That's
yeah,
the-
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Everybody through the dee da 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 da. Can we keep it moving?
Yeah.
Push it. Everybody, is that all right with the trumpets?
What's that?
When we get to the dee da da da, we keep it moving, push it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's okay for the 6/8 to slow down before that, but when we go back to 2/4 and bar 96, let's get it moving. So that when we get back to that bar 147, that we're not too much slower, okay?
It almost feels like the eighth note should be constant, so it should be.
Yeah, it does.
you know,
I,
tense air.
yeah,
That you-
intense air.
Intense air,
Yeah,
and you can breathe it in many ways,
yeah.
you know, and make it. My sound is like air. It's like a tense air,
Tense.
and the tense is like, you know, the tense air, and then you have a certain texture to the air, as though the air is. You can cut the air in pieces, you know. That's what the sound you're hearing is really.
Is that what that's...
Yeah, I think to me the valley was this, the air, the thickness of the air, in touch with the the soil.
Touch with the soil.
Yeah, I mean the sensation of it, the air, thick. You can cut it, but it has a good feeling. You know, you want to really dig into it and feel it and rub it on your body, and you're gonna put some soil and take it and rub it with it. And then the river is going through you, you know. The two rivers, a physical river and a celestial river. That's how I did this work, you know. Then you can engage in the physical, but then you experience the celestial.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading a book right now that has to do with light and sound,
Mm-hmm.
but not the physical light and sound, the celestial or the more spiritual light and sound.
Mm-hmm. Now you reminded me I should finish the work I'd done 10 years ago. It's called Harmonies of the Spheres. And I lost the score, and they after me in Middletown, Ohio, to recuperate it, to be done this October.
That was in the early 90s that you started
Mm-hmm.
that.
I did it.
You did it. I remember you talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't think I saw it. But yeah. So you have to pull it together. You don't know where it's at?
Yeah, I can put it together.
Is it in your office?
Of course. Everything.
We'll have to have a party one day.
In the office, yeah.
It's the air, huh? The sound
Yeah,
of the air.
yeah. It's not the sound, it's the feeling.
It's the feeling of the air, huh?
Yeah. You know, I'm not imitating the sound.
No, you're not.
I'm feeling the air,
You're feeling it.
as though the air has a body to it, you know. So you feel it.
The air has to be filled.
Well, air fills things, you know. Yeah, you feel it on your body, you feel it. As you walk in it, like you go outside, the air coming from the ocean has a body to it. In ancient Egypt, they called that body Shu. Shu, the god of air.
Was the moisture.
The moisture, Tefnut.
The what?
Tefnut.
Tefnut? Tefnut, not tefnut.
No. That's not, Egyptians don't talk like that. That's not Egyptian. Tefnut. Shu Tefnut.
They are the Pa,
Ptah, yeah.
Shu, and Tefnut.
Shu and Tefnut. You got it say, I told you that a long time ago, and you keep saying Tefnut. Well, see, you know the word, the Arabic word from Tefnut is Tef, which means to spit. Today.
Today, right now.
Yeah, Tif. Not Tef, Tef. Tefnut, yeah, Tefnut. Yeah, the goddess that spits. It's just the moisture. This is a concerto for Darabuka and strings. And
When?
huh?
When did you write that?
I wrote this for Stokowski in 1959.
1959?
59.
Said that for timpani.
Hmm?
For timpani.
Well,
Or
it's
Darabuka.
Darabuka and string organ.
And string organ.
Nobody had a Darabuka. Now I don't like the timpani with it. This is timpani, but I had a special notation for Darabuka. Timpani ruins it. Too fat. 59.
1959.
It was performed with Leopold Stokowski. Yeah, that's it. You hear that? That's his part. With the instruments.
Which instrument made that?
All of them. The trumpet, the flutes, and with the mouthpiece, yeah. Or the
How do you write that? How do you notate that?
it's written down in the score how to do it.
How do you call it? What do you?
I put trumpet, do this, horn, do this, do that. You know, each one has instruction.
Is it Ia or Ea?
Ia,
Ia.
ta, ia.
Thank you.
Ia, ia, ia. Ia, 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 ia. Ta, ia, ia, ta, ia, ia. Ia, ia.
So is Egypt? What does Egypt think of? How do I ask this? From the time that you lived here, and the time that you have lived in America and come back, what have you noticed that has changed?
Nothing changes in Egypt except there's more population and more buildings. And same thing, I don't know, it doesn't change really. I mean, it evolves naturally, organically. You know, the more things, more activities. But, you know, everybody, their locals say of Egypt, they said, Egypt, mother of the world, that how people, they sing too.
this is slow. This is a constant eighth, so it's going to be do da da dum ba dum, ba, and it goes for a long time. Okay, so let's get that transition, and I think we're ready to go. We'll just go move on to the last section because this has a baritone. We contracted the bus. Better leisure to leave it. That's fine. So that means we can't say, hey, Buster, if you make 2 trips and tell them you're leaving tonight. You want to just take taxis back?
You're gonna beat me up the way you did that.
Yes, Shaddy is I'm taking a new shot. I can't do that.
With all the commotion going on, did anybody get a knowledge yet?
Yes, tomorrow morning or tonight because the post office opens at around 5:30.
Oh.
And
I think what most surprised me, what I didn't expect, was how excited the people that worked in the hotels were to run across Americans. When I was in the elevator, on several occasions, young men operating the elevator would ask me where I was from, and when I'd say America, they'd say, "Oh, USA, great." And that was very nice, and that wasn't something that I anticipated. I also didn't anticipate that I would feel, as sometimes when I would be in a situation as a woman alone, that I needed a man to be with me. And I think in this culture, I do. I think that in terms of business transactions, there have been several times that some of my fellow musicians and colleagues on the trip we've made purchases together, but independently, and the salesperson just assumed that my male colleague would be buying my purchase as well, and that was something that I wasn't anticipating or prepared for. Some of the times I wasn't anticipating that our tour guide would be a little flirtatious with me. And I later was talking with Halim, and he explained to me that that's a very common not European, but Egyptian activity, that an American woman is viewed as a little freer. And so it was, Halim referred to it as, well, he was flirting, but he wasn't really flirting, because I think Halim didn't want me to take it too seriously or be offended or anything like that, and I was just curious that on more than one occasion, one man in particular wanted to tell me that I had a beautiful smile and make a point of that. I did not anticipate that when we traveled, we would travel with an armed guard on the bus with us. And I don't know how comfortable that made me feel. I suppose I should have felt safer, but knowing that somebody on the bus had a machine gun made me a little ill at ease. But I enjoyed the fact, but it surprised me that when we were traveling yesterday across the desert from Cairo to Alexandria, that a group of soldiers pulled our bus over, and I later found out, they asked what our nationality was, and when they learned that we were a group of Americans, they insisted on escorting us as we traveled along the desert, even though it was a very open highway and there's a lot. It wasn't like we were isolated in any way, but they felt that they needed to escort us, and that was a very interesting thing as well. It made us feel, I suppose, a sense of protection, but it also made me feel, it put me on edge a little bit to think that they felt that there was a need that they would have to do that. I think it was very nice, but I didn't think it was necessarily necessary, and maybe I'm just naive. And that's something that surprised me about myself, because I don't really consider myself to be that naive, and I guess perhaps I am. So that has been a self-awareness for me.
That's good. We don't have to end, but that's
Okay.
a good point to kind of like period that.
Okay.
I like that. I didn't anticipate. That's a neat.
Okay.
I like how you you signatured everything with that.
Okay.
We've got about 5 minutes on this tape. I think we should use it all up.
Okay.
Do you want to keep going with things that have surprised you, or do you want to talk about the bibliothèque and talk about the experience there this morning? Talk about the rehearsal here? I'm just opening up ideas.
Okay. This morning, David and I spent a great deal of time working with the maestro, finding out what he wanted from us and what his expectations were for us, and also what we could do to make things easier for him. I didn't realize the amount of stress that this man is under, and I also did not anticipate the amount of red tape and the bureaucracy that is involved with the biblioteca. And I understand now that the maestro who works for the biblioteca has several bosses above him, and yet there are several people that answer to him, and it's a very interesting line of command, and you can't jump ahead, you can't ask for something. If you ask someone to do something, they can't answer you directly because they have to go to someone else, and that's something that we don't see in the United States. In the United States, people are able to work a little more autocratically and make decisions and make things happen, and in this situation, everything is contingent upon someone else's approval, and oftentimes the person who makes the approval isn't even nearby where you would assume that it would be, and so things take a long process, and when people tell you that they will get back to you immediately, that's often not the case. Told to wait a half hour frequently will be an hour, that sort of thing, and it's not to be helped, and that's something that doesn't happen in the United States. Somebody says, I'll meet you at 8:30, you're usually there 5 minutes before 8:30 because you know that indeed they'll be waiting for you. But that doesn't happen. So I think part of the concerns that we had were cultural misunderstanding of people wanting to take care of us, and in some regard overcompensating for taking care of us so well when we were in another city. So when we were away from the biblioteca, they were very concerned to make sure that we had everything that we needed. Then when we came closer to the biblioteca, they felt that things were more under control, and so they gave us a little more freedom, and we didn't quite know what to do with the freedom, and so it was difficult for us to make the adjustment. So by going to the biblioteca this morning and straightening out some things and understanding better where they were coming from, and for them to see what exactly we needed, that's going to make the remainder of the trip go very, very smoothly. And I feel very good about things that were accomplished this morning.
Talk about the facility, as far as what your impression was when you walked into the biblioteca and what it offers scholarship.
Going into this modern structure that you know is the heart of all of this history and this vast treasure, and after having just come from the pyramids and this ancient kind of history and marvel and spectacle, I said to someone while we were looking at the pyramids and touching them and wandering around and climbing inside, that it's too bad that in American culture we have a tendency to overuse the term awesome. because then that somehow negates the effect or the impact of that word. And truly, when you're viewing the pyramids, that really is an awesome experience. When we drove past the Biblioteca and saw the structure and how modern it was and where it's situated on the water, it was also a marvel, only with modern technology. So that was a stark contrast. Walking into the Biblioteca and looking down at the expanse was just an amazing thing to see, because the building is so huge and so vast, and the potential for growth is enormous, and it's very exciting, and it's really exciting to be a part of this sort of rebirth or renaissance of this place that has had such history for humankind for such a long time. So it's really very exciting to be part of it all.
Good stuff.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I haven't really played my horn in like 5 days, so I'm trying to ease back into things.
You sound good.
Well, thanks.
Still got it.
Still